Hey, good evening. Welcome to the 3Cs and EVE Online. I am Planethead. This is Amos Abraham, my character that lives out in the Great Wildlands. I always recently I've liked to try to do a quick tip at the beginning of the video just to help out anybody that might be out there. This is a tip that I tried a little while ago and then didn't have a use for it because of my gameplay and where I was at. But I'm actually going to be switching back to it and trying to learn more about it. I would recommend anybody out there maybe try it out. It is a third-party site called Eve Pirate's Little Helper. I think there's other things that are out there that might be helpful, but Eve Pirate's Little Helper is a third-party site that when you download it and then boot it up, it actually creates another window very similar to your in-game windows that overlays Eve. And in the window, it will give you information that is a lot more readily available to you than doing some of the searches that I've done in the past. I think this is really probably helpful whenever you're doing some PvP. And actually this is a great situation right now. If you notice here, I've actually jumped into a system. I'm going to just go to a safe spot here real quick. When you jump into a system or anybody enters a system, Eve's Pirate's Little Helper, at least the way I have it set up, because I haven't messed with it very much, but I want to mess around with it probably over the weekend, maybe the next couple weekends. There are different settings for it. But you can update who's in your little window here by going ahead and clicking Control A and then Control C, and if you notice, it will go ahead and update here in the top right hand corner, and suddenly you get some really good information. I'm at a safe spot here, so I'm not too worried. Secondly, I'm not very worried at all because the first thing that pops up here is a little icon. The little icon here is basically saying that these guys that are in my local, who are also in Eve's Little Helper, are all Care Bears, similar to myself. If you notice here I am, I'm there. But it also, just right off the bat, without changing any settings in it whatsoever, gives you a ton of information. First off, it tells you how old each one of these characters are. Second part is it'll give you the corporation that they're in. Thirdly, are they in an alliance or in a coalition? So just without even changing any settings, I haven't changed any settings in the game, it gives me this types of information. If I hover over a character, it will actually give me even more information on them. So if you look here, good. Now these characters that are in here haven't really done much. They're probably just clones for a guy who's maybe doing some planetary interaction or something. They're all on station. But it tells me that I'm pretty safe right now. Now let's just hover over myself here. This tells me how old I am. When the last time was that I died, and that was, or the last killboard activity, that was in a Tristan. I guess I died 53 days ago. I don't even remember that. The only thing I'm a little bit worried about here is that my last killboard information was not this. I did just blow up a warp disruptor. So I think if you double click on whoever's here, yep, I am correct. It will go ahead. I just double clicked on myself. It will pull up. There we go. Z killboard. And if you notice here, that's the last time I killed him. So this is the Tristan that I was talking about. Maybe it doesn't take this as a significant death or anything because it wasn't a person. I'm not sure. Or maybe the settings that it comes with says the last time I actually died. Not too worried about it. But as you can tell, you can just basically, and I don't know if this will come up with much, but it will automatically bring up somebody's Z-kill board stats, which is really pretty helpful if you think about it, because then you don't have to pull over another window. You can just instantaneously get to it. As you can tell, as I clicked on mine and then clicked on a second one, it brings up another window, and boom. So if you want to try it out, it is a good hint. I really haven't messed with it much over since I downloaded it, but I may start using it. I may not. But I think there's a lot of people out there that use this, or maybe some other third parties. I know there's a ton of third party sites to get stuff out there. I don't know about overlays and things like that. I don't really view this as a hack or a cheat, because all it is giving you information. It isn't allowing you to do anything bad to somebody else. So, but that's out there. I'm going to go ahead and close it because I don't really need it for what I'm doing right now. And I'm still in a safe spot. I'm going to go ahead and dock up because I wanted to show the last thing that I experimented with. And that is, I do this every once in a while. I talk about the planetary interaction. I finally did move out 2 planets to the Great Wildlands. The first one I just got up and running. And I used a website here. This is a very good, there's a lot of PI websites that are out there. This is a really good one. I caught it off of one of the interviews that were given off of Talking in Stations. And there are a lot of things that this website can do. I just use it for the basic one. It's called eve-webtools.com, and it's got PI tools. And if you're ever wanting to figure out a little bit more about planetary interaction, this is a great little site to get you started. I don't like digging deep on sites like these. I do like using basic information that might save me, but I do like spending more time in the game learning things on myself. Done a lot of the PI in the last month or two, just trying things out, and I'm ready to move to that next level. So my initial thought with the PI was to move everything out to where I'm at in the Great Wildlands right now. But instead, I decided to experiment just a little bit more. And what I wanted to do, I noticed in readings, not on this page, but just reading things up and learning different things, that basically every planet type, there's 8 different planet types here, if you can see this, 8 planet types, and all of them on their own, without any help with another planet, can produce one level 3, and these are your level 3 items here, on their own. So basically, and I'll just go ahead and show you here, if I hover over barren planets, it'll show you everything that it produces, from aqueous liquids. Actually, I want to pull up, sorry, I just want to make sure you can see this. I think yep, it does really well. So you see how the highlights go, and actually I'll move my ugly picture down here. So I'm hovering over, there we go. So it allows me to generate as raw materials the aqueous liquids, the base metals, carbon compounds, blah, 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 blah. Using a basic factory, I can then convert those into the level 1s that are here. Water, reactive metals, biofuels. So a barren planet can produce those, which is really helpful just to know. You don't have to keep pulling up Windows and Eve. But the next part, if you look here, and this is where it gets really helpful, this page gets really helpful, it'll tell you which ones of these items I can use to make level 2s, which are usually, which is the real way you want to go if you really want to sell things. Level 2 PI is combining 2 level 1s to create a level 2. And just by being on a barren planet, I can produce all of these level 2s. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different types, just by creating my planet on level 2. Now, my thought in the past was to create level 2s and then transport those to one planet, use that as a factory to create level 3s and level 4s. I recently changed that thought pattern. I'm going to try something a little bit different because I want the most passive planetary interaction as possible. What I found is I don't want to be beholden to Farmville in Eve. I just want it to make me some money and randomly swing out and grab some stuff every so often to maybe once a month take stuff to market. So how can I do that? Well, if you notice, there is right, and I'm just going to scroll down here and hover over it again. The level 3s in the 4th row here, a barren planet can create transcranial microcontrollers on its own. So it doesn't have to have anything transported from one planet to another. It can create these on its own if you set it up correctly. Normally, you put to make things as good as they can be, you would put 1 to maybe 2 extractors down, and then make the basic stuff running so you can extract as much as possible. I don't care about that. All I really want to do is to have this producing something that I can then bring to market at some point in time. And once it's up and running, I never have to spend another cent on it. I may have to move it around just a little bit, which would take a total of maybe a minute per planet per month, but maybe 5 minutes per month. But I wanted to see how much I could produce in one day just by setting it up with the most minimal setup and see if it was even possible. So I did do that, and I'll just show you what I came up with here. This is, again, this is not power gaming. This is not trying to get the biggest bang for your buck. This is basically having a change jar in Eve. It's just going to slowly, quietly trickle away and make money for you. So go ahead and pull up my planet here. And as you can see, all my planets aren't running right now. They're stopped. I just made this one up yesterday. It's very, very simple. Instead of having 1 to 2 extractors, I made 4. And to do, let's go ahead and pull that site back up here. To do the transcranial microcontrollers, I have to create nanites. Scroll down here. And biocells. So if you look at the, I can't really use a pointer because if I pull it off, then it will do that. But I have to create nanites and biocells, so I have to then use biofuels, precious metals, bacteria, and where is it there? Nanites, reactive metals, bacteria, and reactive precious metals. I'm sorry, not precious. Doesn't matter. Look at the site. You got it. I'm sorry. Biofuels, precious metals, bacteria, and reactive metals. So I don't need any of the water. The water is not needed, which ironically on a barren planet usually is the least plentiful out of everything. So coming over here, if we look at this and we scan the planet, you'll see what I've done. You've got base metal. So I've got 1 machine going here for a base metal, and then carbon compounds. I've got 1 going here. Microorganisms, 1 down here. I could do anywhere in here, but I found that that's the highest producing there. And 1 noble metal right here. So I basically set up my system so that it's in range of all 4 of these items that I need. Those items then are extracted, sent to a basic factory. Those factories are then sent to an advanced factory, which creates level 2s. And last but not least, those level 2s that are created are then moved on to level 3s. And over the last day, without even trying, I was able to produce 24. This was a 24-hour period because I literally set this off at, as you can see in my screen there. 9:30 last night. I set it off at 9:30 last night. Ran the extractors for 20 hours, and this is what popped up. I have 24 transcranial microcontrollers worth basically 1.5 million, with some extra things on the side, which is kind of cool. Because what you can slowly do is keep creating these, They don't weigh that much. This is 1.5 million at 144 M3s, cubic meters. So I can load up a Neuris with, well, let's see here, 1.5. A Neuris with just basic fittings can get you about 3,000. Go into my calculator. There you are. Say 3,000 is my whole space, my storage space, divided by one. Actually, each one of those is, we're going to, 1 second here. My brain had a very long day at work today. I ran a training class for 8 hours. My brain is shot. I was really debating on doing this video, but I really wanted to just sit down and have a little bit of fun. And having fun is doing YouTube videos. So to figure out how much each one of these weighs, does it say it here? If it doesn't, we just figure it out. So each one of these weighs 162. Well, actually, I don't need to figure. Stop. Okay. So this is 1.5 million here. Actually, 1.650 million. Did it change? It just changed on me. Ha! I don't care. We're going to go with 1.5 because the market goes up and down. And I guess one just produced at 162 M3. So if you take 3,000 divided by 162, I can fit 18 more of that in times 1.5. Is that right? Seems like I can get a lot more in there. I know I can get a lot more in there. So that's 27 million. $162. I'm off. I am so sorry. Basically, I can just haul this in for free and get money for it. This is the realness of doing these videos. I'll be very frank, I am very tired. But I did want to show you this. I know planetary interactions videos are not the most interesting. I'm going to probably stop doing them mostly. But I wanted to show you one option that you can do. The ironic part is I think the people who created planetary interaction made it so you can do it this way. Because if you look at my command center, I used basically almost every last level of power. I'm at 98.9% of my power capacity. So I think they set the game up. So this is maxing it out. You're not going to max out profitability, but maxing out your passive ability. What does this mean? This is very similar to the way I have been playing the game for the last 2 months. Take the bottom amount and start working your way up. If you don't want to work your way up, then it's not something you want to do. I found the base level here to have to make a little bit of fun, but I don't really feel like, especially at this point in time, of going a whole lot farther into planetary interaction. So I can have fun with this for a while. Maybe 6 months from now I want to mess around with Farmville in space. But right now I'm just going to set these up so they make me some money. Obviously in a day I was able to make 1.5 million. You do that with 6 planets, that's 9 million a day. 9 million times 30 days, 270 million, 3 characters. You're talking almost about 850 million ISK per account per month, with the most minimal effort whatsoever once you get it set up. Not bad. Are there some factors that are involved here? There are. Any amount of downtime, there's a little bit. If you take the extractors and spread them out over a course of 2 weeks, where you'd have to have even the most minimal amount, you actually get a less amount of an input in there. My suggestion is to reset your extractors every 3 to 7 days. If you really want to go passive, I would go with 7. Don't go with 14. It is a real loss once you get past a week and go there. I'm not going to go through the numbers. That gets really boring. You can mess around with it if you want to. But just a heads up, that is a really good way. You have to have an Omega account. But in reality, you do this with your Omega account, you will be able to pay for half of your subscription just by doing this without doing anything at all. So it's less chasing your tail. Alrighty? So last but not least, I've got my final probe created. I'm going to be able to start flying around in the Great Wildlands like I have been doing in Syndicate, and doing some relic data sites and some wormhole jumping there. I'm going to have a little bit more fun. I am looking forward to the first wormhole that takes me out to Stain. As soon as I do that, that's going to be my third spot to stop and check out, and I'm really looking forward to that. And having an exploration ship in both my 2 home areas, plus the ability to make more exploration ships, is going to be really fun. Going to keep this video pretty short. We're at about 22 minutes. Not a whole lot of gameplay going on right now. I'm just going to go out and fly this back home. And then I got to get to sleep because I have one more long day of work. And then a long weekend, a very long weekend, which I'm going to play a lot of Eve. I'm going to go visit my, where my dad was laid to rest. Haven't been there in quite a long while. See a relative of mine. And just going to have an overall good weekend. I think the weather's supposed to be nice. I haven't checked, but man, it has been nice the last couple of days. So I hope you all have a great one. I'll try to put up some more interesting, fun-filled videos. Long story, long-term, Stain next. And I am also going to start trying to produce some smaller level PvP ships that I can start messing around in the faction warfare space. And dying as much as possible. My Z kill board is going to get filled up because I have no idea what I'm doing with that. But that should be fun. So you guys have a great weekend, rest of the week, weekend, whatever it is. And I will talk to you soon. Fly safe, fly dangerously, fly however the heck you want. See ya.